Guess who's back?
You're now listening to Unapologetic, the podcast, with your two hosts, Trey and Reg, discussing any and everything unfiltered.
You know, it is what it is. Smurf.
What up?
Are you too masculine to moan?
Fuck no. What? I'm singing the motherfucking tunes, boy. When I'm putting in work.
I saw that topic just now. Don't say you been there yodeling.
I do whatever I gotta do, brother. Whatever I gotta do to let her know.
We can still be masculine to moan, right, Thugger?
Yeah.
He better make some kind of noise in here. I'm gonna put his ass out. Like, are we not having fun in here, nigga? Does this not feel good?
Start checking his posts and shit, niggas.
Right. Bitch, you alive?
Yeah. Fuck wrong with your voice box? Like, shouldn't that come out you?
It's all in here. Like, I'm mental moans. Like, nah, nigga, they don't do shit for me. I'm not in there. So come on, bring those out here and let me know.
I've never understood that notion that it's not masculine for a man to moan during sex. Like, this is like some feel good shit. This is the time to express yourself.
You're supposed to. That's what it's made for. I think that's what it's supposed to.
That's what Usher said.
What Usher said?
He did.
Usher said that's what it's made for.
He did. Usher got a voice though. That nigga might moan some melodies or something. So it might come out great.
Yeah, that shit sounds amazing. And I mean, you ain't gotta be like. I just feel like people just overthink a lot of these simple things a little too much. You know, if it feels good, then you should just, that should just be expressed. Regardless.
So younger me, I have been with women and I would like ask them like, you good? Like, what's, but at the younger ages, a lot of people might think that they sound crazy or weird or whatever else, so they just keep it in. But I'm like, older now, like, who gives a fuck? Niggas be like, sometimes like motherfuckers be in there making the ugliest face, and you look at them like, oh.
Like, this ain't the time to be in here looking for like, model-esque shit. Like, we there's a point we're trying to both meet. Let's get there, please. And that means you got professional eyes. You got shed a tear, bite, yodel, whatever the fuck you gotta do. That's gonna get you where you need to get to. Then I suggest you get that shit out. Like, yeah,
man. Because I'm like, shit. I'm gonna let this moan out. I don't give a fuck. If it feel good and it's going the way it's supposed to. Oh, you gonna get all these goddamn moans.
It's a show of appreciation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I appreciate you. What you're doing.
You're doing a good job. This is great.
I appreciate what you have.
That's like a verbal gold star.
Right. You're doing great.
There you go.
You're doing it. This is amazing. This is great.
Verbal gold star. Hey, that's the name of the podcast. Pin that.
Even though we ain't started yet, but yeah, we should. Yeah, verbal gold.
That's okay.
Star. And you're doing an amazing job, woman. Like, hey.
You're doing it, yeah. And I feel like if women are honest with themselves, that's an extra turn on. Like,
it is, but so a lot of men that are too masculine have conditioned women to think that that's different or that's not normal or whatever else because those men are masculine, so they don't do it. So I've been with a woman, where I moaned and shit, and she was like stopping what she was doing, like, you good up there, you okay? And I'm like,
yes.
You fucking shit up by stopping to ask me if I'm good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You about to fuck this nut up.
I was there.
Girl, I was about to.
and your ass wanna.
You done scared him back down, girl. You done scared it back down. He's like, oh no, he ain't ready for it. She ain't ready for it. I'm gonna back it up.
My toes was almost on that half curl, and then you stop.
Right. You got to open your damn mouth.
Yeah. My knees was almost locked down and shit. Like, what is you doing?
I was about to be straight locked up, and your ass, here you go.
Like, my whole body almost caught a damn Charlie horse in this bitch. But you,
girl, what the hell you doing?
Look, that's the only Charlie horse I'm willing to get.
Yeah. But I think a lot of not, I guess society in general before that masculine section or era has conditioned people to think that, like, a lot of women and even men, that shit is just not masculine.
I think it's dumb.
It is.
Like,
wait, where are we coming to a society? So we'll get to that in the podcast. So let me introduce this thing. Hey, thank you for coming back out. Another episode of Unapologetic Podcast. I am your host, one half, Reg, the Prime Minister. Of course, y'all see Dre's not here, but I got two reoccurring hosts with me. Well, guest hosts, whatever I want to call them. Miss Thuggalina Jolie and my guy Smurf. What's going on with y'all?
It's happening. It's happening.
And if y'all heard, we were kind of talking about society and norms and all that other shit. I guess we'll probably get into that with some of the topics we got. But
too many rules out here. That's always been my thing. Like, there's too many rules out here, and that pisses me off. There's only certain rules I'm willing to follow. That's just gonna keep me out of jail. That's it. Right. Everything else I'm doing for
rules are made to be broken.
I was gonna say that. Rules are made to be broken. I was definitely gonna say that.
Especially these rules that they trying to say. I'm about to break all them shits. Fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck about none of these goddamn rules y'all be trying to set. I'm already set in my ways when it comes to me as a person and what I like to do. So if you got issues with how shit or with what y'all think society is supposed to be doing, fuck all that. I got my rules. I'm good.
That's what I say. But let's get these pleasantries out the way. We're gonna start with the lady. Miss Jolie, how have you been since you last been on Unapologetic Podcast?
When was I last here?
Oh, it's been a little while. Well, probably about a month or two, maybe, you know.
Something like, you know what I'm saying? You always got, you know, Smurf to pull in. Smurf's going who wants to record? I'm recording. I'm with it. Let's get it. But thank you for having me back on the show. Everything is good. Just getting into a new part of my life. So I've joined this music podcast here called Dope Though Podcast. They have a whole website where we critique, you know, local artists, their albums and stuff. So I just became a writer for their website, but it's dopethough.com. Just critiquing local artists and their projects. So I'm on my second one right now. Getting into the groove. It's fun. I feel like Khadijah James. I feel like you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Those are the two people I kind of you pull from when you okay, let's get into it. But yeah, it's been fun just, you know, being able to, you know, give people good feedback because a lot of artists, you know, here they already respect my ear and kind of give me their shit ahead of time, and I give them a, you know, nod, tell them what they need to fix, stop doing shit like that. So, you know, little A&R and little, you know, album review, all that shit. So yeah, it's been fun.
That's dope. What about the podcast?
I'm coming back. I'm trying to I keep waiting on people and I gotta stop that shit. Like, it's one thought. I just gotta, you know, kind of put a, you know, tag on that. We'll come back.
Holla at your boy. I'm always ready.
I was getting to that, Smurf.
I'm always podcast ready. If not, I'll make myself podcast ready.
But with Smurf, I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to like do the traditional, you know, 3 topics, unless we can do that at another time. I just kind of want to do a different thing. So I bought a couple card games. I'm trying to, you know, see what I can stump him with. Now he gave me these 2 musical ones that I'm gonna eat his ass up on. Like, he don't want no smoke with that because I know all of these facts. I know all these lyrics.
Okay.
See, they was in the pack. They was still sealed. I hadn't even opened them up yet.
I opened them up and I went through them. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this may be one.
So on that note, me and you still have an episode to do. This Dirty Mac and ladies, ladies edition.
Yeah.
But I'm just waiting because the person I had lined up, she has some things going on. I don't want to divulge our information, but I wanted another woman on, so we have that to perspective. But I think it's gonna happen this week. It's gonna happen this week.
When you think about it, like when I did my research because I do playlists and shit like that. So I did put together a session for this, and I didn't realize because I Can Love You, Mary J. Blige was it's like one of my nigga, because
I can love you better than she can.
Because Lil' Kim went for blood. Like, she just came out today, nigga. If I told you once, I told you twice. I was like, ooh, She stopped playing with this nigga. Like, I ain't about to keep telling you, my nigga. Like, but then when you get into the lyrics of it, I'm like, ooh, that is Daddy Mac. And so it's like, cause are you sure?
We gonna get into this. Listen, we don't want it to get too old. I don't want to sit on it too long, so we gonna get into
it.
Yeah. this week. Matter of fact, we gonna do it this week. We're gonna do it this week. After me and Smurf.
That's gonna be a good episode.
We're gonna get to it.
That's gonna be a good episode.
So put on your calendar. Thursday, not Thursday, Wednesday. After me and Wednesday, after me and Smurf.
Yeah, that should be fine. That should work.
But go ahead and plug everything. Go ahead and plug. Tell them where they can find you and all your endeavors.
Twitter and IG only. Those are the only two things that matter. Thugelina Jolie. On those, the podcast Banshees Block is literally everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, you name it, you can find me. Like I'm on that shit. I did get some feedback on the overshare episode, which was good. It was from my best friend. I had to tell. I was like, "You're not an overshare. You're not an overshare."
I like that. So
I'm like,
that's what the reach out was for. She was trying to make sure she wasn't an overshare.
And yes, I saw it live. I saw some of it live, and then I went back and actually listened to it on Apple for what I did.
Yeah, I'm like, we've all had cases where we've just given somebody just a little too much.
Right.
But I'm like, there's a fine line because I know some real deal overshares that put like paragraphs on social media and pictures, and they'll go live, and they're just like, you didn't have to bring everybody into your shit like that.
Right.
Like,
that was when you went IG live, right?
No, I think that was the music one. Because I don't go live.
I've been saying anytime she goes IG live, it's for the Dope
podcast. Yeah, I'm live.
So that's what I saw then. That's what I saw. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, just that, and then the playlist soundtrack to the session. Those are on Apple Music, Tidal, and Spotify. I got every mood you can think of. Like it's just really just organizing music better. Where you like, if you could say, oh man, I want to hear some Meg Thee Stallion, I want to hear some Cardi B. Oh, here, take this one. I want to hear some uplifting Black music. Here, I got you. Here, take that one. Motivation, take that one. Oh, you want to go to the club? Let's go. Like, yeah, I got you. So they everywhere. Soundtrack to the session. Make sure y'all check me out.
All right, definitely. Smurf.
Y'all
back, right? Y'all back.
Hey,
y'all started out with a bang too. I liked it. Y'all started out with a bang. I like the episode. That episode, y'all first episode. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I had to. Of course, as you saw, I had to run the episode. So we are back. I am one half of Coffee and Apple Juice. Shout out to Miss Aisha Hadia.
What's up?
But yeah, we're back. Season 4 kicked off, so we finally got that going. Of course, me and you with Aries talking sports. That last episode. John Gruden. Hey, Urban Meyer, you good. Sit back and relax, sir. I got
clip it for that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you.
That was a fun episode. I ain't even gonna hold you. But between that, man, of course, podcasting is always, working is always currently on the clock. But I mean, I know how to work the system, not necessarily work the system, but I know how to being in contact. So they need to hit me up. If I mute myself or my video goes away, that means I had to take a phone call. But other than that, man, you know me, still hustling as always, still trying to make ends meet per usual, and just enjoying life, man. That's it.
That's up, man. That's
enjoying life.
That's what at our age, that's what it's supposed to be about, man. Like you work to build up to this point.
Yeah,
to where you are now, so you can actually kind of sit back and enjoy everything that you've been doing, and you've been working for to this point. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself doing that shit now because I'll be doing a little dumb, like old man shit. Like I go outside and look at my grass and be like, he cut that shit all right. You know what I'm saying? I go around, walk the whole yard, be looking at how they add shit up, the bush. I'm like,
the corners, dog. Solid.
Yeah, I never appreciated any things like that when when I was younger, you know, but now, you know, I look at it and I'm like, all right, that's all right, right
Yeah,
there.
when it's your own, I feel like you really appreciate it a lot more, and you really pay attention to the details when it's your own shit. You be like, hold up, because you paying for it, so you like, hold up, let me make sure they doing this shit right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, that's fine.
Yeah,
I can fuck with that. You did a good job. Here's your money. All right, there you
go. even when you cut it yourself, you just when I cut it myself, I'd be so damn tired. I just I go in the house and take all that shit off I got off and wash up. Like I don't but yeah, I go out there and appreciate the shit. I might water the grass and shit now. So yeah, that's that. That's
what's next? Sprinklers? You gonna get the sprinkler system?
Oh, I got some. But so I used to have my sprinkler system set for like it was 3 days out the week. And the shit, you know, automatic, it come on. But I got that water bill. I said, oh no.
Oh no, hell
no.
I unplugged everything and wrapped it up, put it in the garage.
No. But it's a built-in system in the yard.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it ain't, but that shit, I want to say
like I don't need it.
My shit was about $190 something, the water bill. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, hell no. I fuck that.
Motherfucker get water when it rain. No, like no.
Right. Yeah, like I mean, you gotta ask yourself, like, we had a drought. Like, is my grass gonna turn brown if it don't get you know what I'm saying? You be like, nah, it's fine. Like, as long as we get enough moisture around here, it's cool. Like, I'm not even gonna worry about it.
So for me, long as that shit, all the shit is cut at that nice even level, got that edge up, is good. Like I don't like all my shit don't have to look like the damn turf or astroturf. I'm good. Like if I got a little light golden yellow patch over here, a little brown patch over there, it's all green over here, we good to go. I'm fine. Like I'm not on it like that. But like some of these motherfuckers in my neighborhood, like all that shit looks like the damn astroturf and you know.
Yeah, like it's very uniformed. It's very green. Like you almost want to lay on it. And it's like it's grass, my nigga. Like at the end of the day, it's grass and it's on the ground.
Like you said, you want to lay on it. Yeah, you be like, oh, that shit looks so nice.
Right, it looks soft. Your grass looks soft. Like I could just take a little nap on. Like I shouldn't be feeling like that about your grass. Like I appreciate it visually. It looks great. I just couldn't have that kind of patience for my own yard. So
now I might be on it like that had my water bill not been.
Right, had y'all not stuck me like almost $200, like that's a bit extreme.
And you know what? So to get into, and this is not even conversation, but just to think like when people be like, oh, I need a man that pay all the bills and all this other shit. Fuck no. If I gotta pay a house note, a car note, and if you want to add your car note and insurance, all this other shit, and then you want to add like if we watering the grass like that. 100, like no, this is too much. Like no. Yeah, that's why. So when people say half or 60-40 or whatever else, we ain't talking about half of a house. We're just talking about all these bills together.
Yeah, the other shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like because if we got cable and we got kids. We got a cable box down here, a cable box in our bedroom. The kids probably got box in their room. So your cable bill probably about around 200 or something, maybe a little less. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit can run. Then if you got an internet package, you know what I'm saying? So
it's a whole lot of shit. Like easily $200, like just for that. And when you would be better off with just Wi-Fi. But that's my issue though, like, cause I got AT&T. So the issue has been for me, it's like I want to get rid of the cable boxes. Like I don't really need them because I'm on streaming apps and shit like that. And I got a Fire Stick, so I'm straight. Like I can have access to pretty much anything. And I keep forgetting because the past due will come, and then I have a current one, and then you know what I'm saying? Like I just got to stop procrastinating. Just call them and be like, yo. Take this shit off my bill. Like I don't need these boxes, and do y'all want me to throw them away? Y'all want to come pick them up? Like, but it's so like I procrastinate when it comes to shit like that. I'll pay it, whatever.
So I did the same thing, but I have AT&T and I do direct TV, but I have because I had when my daughters was here, she moved out since, but I had 1, 2, 3, like 4 cable boxes in here. When they left, I maintained them. Just company come over, blah, blah, blah. I thought about, I'm like. Why they're watching this shit? Because even when they come over, if they spend a night, it might be about a night or two or whatever else. So I told them they could come get this box. This box is a box down here. So I had like 5 boxes in his house, and only 2 of them was being watched. That's the one in my bedroom and the one in the living room when I come down here. I could take this shit, and then I think it was a damn a fee for them to come get them because they got to change everything up. I'm like, what the fuck?
They get you coming and going. Like,
a relocation fee. A relocation fee because the main box was somewhere and they had to move it to another room. What happened to when you could just screw that shit in the damn wall?
Right, and that was just
in any room, like
any fucking room. Like you just, as long as they had a socket and some power, boom, instant hookup.
Now that shit is room specific. Smurf busy. We're gonna go ahead and get started. You being music, R.Kelly. I haven't talked to you about the whole ordeal with him and the verdict. If you want to talk about it a little bit, we can. But I see recently his album sales have skyrocketed. I think they said it. His album sales have streaming is 500%.
Up to 500%. Nasty motherfuckers. That's I just don't. First of all, I've never been a super R. Kelly fan. I love Jay-Z. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I hate the fact that they did an album together. Like, I was not a fan of the Best of Both Worlds. Two of them. And when he did, even in the moment, just being in the moment when it happened, I didn't like it. I didn't even like the album because R. Kelly just always had, to me, had a certain energy that I just couldn't put my finger on until more stuff got exposed. And I'm like, that's why I can't get into it. And this is why I can't subscribe to him being a genius, because he's a sexual predator. And so all of his music is sexual, all of it. So you're basically talking about a child in all of these songs. You're not talking to the age appropriate woman that is listening to it. You're actually talking to her kid. You're actually talking to her grandchild. Like, that's how sick this nigga is. And this is the reason why I frown at people that say the new phrase of the new millennium is you got to separate the man from the music. Well, you can't do that in this instance, guys, because the filth is in the music. The man put himself in his music. You can't separate it. If R. Kelly was talking about selling cocaine, possibly being a gangster, then yes, you can separate those two because the charges he is dealing with is sexual predator.
Okay.
So if he was selling dope, you could say, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that selling dope is cool, but you have to, it can't be the same crime that you're committing. Like he was so arrogant in all of this. Like he made a video clip saying, I've been doing this shit for 30 years now. They should have got me then. Like, this nigga has repeatedly shown his ass, shown his card, and everybody just kept stepping in the name of love. I'm like confused because I'm like, this nigga fucks children, like teenagers, 15, 13, teen, and he's 29, 30, 45, fucking with teenagers and sitting there and like, it's something that they enabled, is something that, you know, everybody's placing blame, but damn it, if you've been doing this shit for 3 fucking decades, you are who you are. That's what you said you are. Everyone that fucked with him everyone in the industry wants to walk around and be like, you know, everybody was working with him. Well, then you got to pull up your mama's voice and your grandmama's voice. Well, if everybody was jumping off the bridge, son, would you do it too? So it doesn't make it right. The fact that everybody else was doing it, it was wrong when y'all were doing it. He fucks kids.
All right, let me ask you this question. When you said placing blame, what do you mean?
Placing blame?
Yeah.
Everybody's to blame.
Okay, all right. So when you
everybody involved, like I'm not even, the other argument is, these girls' parents. Everybody's to blame. But if you if you know that somebody's a known serial killer or a known rapist, why would you keep walking over there? Like, everyone made a joke about it. It was a punchline. And then people that they had the intel. They knew that he was doing this shit. And they would still take their children to go see him. And I think that's pimping your kids out. That's wrong too. All of them are wrong. But we're not talking about those people need to get locked up too. But the main person that's the actual doing the crime is the person that needs to get in trouble. Quit all this pointing finger. Yeah, take them motherfuckers out too. But if you actually are doing the shit, you're the first one we have to get. Everyone else will get theirs too, but we need you to come in here, nigga. Like you did this shit.
You know, the parents, yes. And I think a lot of the people that were around him in his camp as well, because I think I mean, hell, I forgot which documentary it was, the Surviving R.Kelly. One of the dudes was like, they used to go to the school and talk to girl, hey, Robert want to talk to you. That same thing. But also I'm under the belief that it was probably some guys, maybe some women in his circle camp that was probably doing the same thing.
Yeah. How could you not be around somebody? How could you not kick it with somebody and not do that shit?
Like everything. Random question is what email gonna just transfer?
I got it.
Got it. There you go. But yeah, like that, the shit blows my mind. Like I really can't understand how people, even just being so knowledgeable with like the first doc, just that made me feel so like that energy and all them people talking, like everybody is sick because y'all sitting there like it's the same thing like we were saying earlier with the doing coke. It's the same shit. If you even run with a cokehead, you a cokehead. Like you automatically get clumped in with who you run with. Yeah. So those women, those men, yes, it's the same thing. Like for me, in my opinion, all of it is wrong. It's wrong when older women they get sent in or they take money to go fuck a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old, like Boosie was saying that he had did for his child. Like that shit is it's wrong when we are adults. These are children. Like what? That's the difference. That's so weird.
Our mentality and thought process into like culturism and how we do things, how we look at things or whatever else has to change.
Yes.
And kind of align with not saying we have to agree and be the same as what is going on in the world today, but it has to match somewhere because times are changing, things are changing, and we can't say that, oh well, dating and doing this and doing that is not the same as it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then come here in 2000s or 2020s and be like, oh, I want my son to be a man, so I'm going to bring girls in here for him to fuck and whatever else. Like, no, like that ain't
like I've always still that happened back in the day, like what y'all want to call, what we want to call normal. That wasn't even supposed to be the thing back then. Like that, it was fucked up then. We just went along, get along, just because don't nobody want to offend nobody or piss nobody off. But it was something that needed to be corrected, and it's something that needed to be checked because what we don't want to do as a human race is like keep creating the same generations over and over again. It's supposed to better with each generation or at least evolve a little bit more. So that's what we're dealing with. It's called evolving, like as humans. That's all it is. In dating and every work relationship, everything has changed. Like you gotta think like just working, just that example, like they used to get paid $2, $3 an hour. To work jobs, and look at 2021 where they trying to tell you that $7.50 as minimum wage, you can live on that. And it's like, how the fuck was they doing it back then? How do you expect people to do it now? And then when they it has to keep evolving. Like this is why the now hire is up. Everything has to evolve. Human beings, of course, we don't like change. So, and it's hard for us to accept that because you just want to keep the same thing that you've always known. You want to always know it, but that's not human. That's not living the human life. Like you're not doing it right by doing that shit. It's called evolving. I shouldn't be who I was 10 years ago. I shouldn't be 25-year-old Red. I'm 35.
Right. Yeah. You definitely. If you in the same spot,
Yeah, we gotta grow up. So of course, you would have asked me these questions 10 years ago. I would have said something, probably different about R. Kelly. Like, yeah, that was a little bop. Like, that's my shit. But you look at who I am now as a woman. I have more empathy. I have more sympathy for other people besides myself. Like, I've never, thankfully, had to deal with anything like that. But my heart is and my brain is intact enough to actually feel something for someone else. Like, damn, they had to go through that shit. Like, I just couldn't imagine. Going through that.
We're more inclined to sympathize rather than empathize with people these days. A lot back then, it was more or less like, what they got to do with me.
Yeah, but it does. And the crazy thing is, it has more to do with us than we think it does, because when you correct it, you enable that behavior, and this is how he was able to get away with that shit. For 3 decades, motherfuckers kept believing they could fly, stepping in the name of love, next song, and him a genius because he can make somebody's pussy wet. Like, that don't make you no genius. Like, that don't take a whole lot of thought to get a box wet, my nigga. Like, have a personality. How about that?
So, when I was in Miami, I went during Barack's first run, when he was actually running for president. All the rappers, all the entertainers was coming down there doing free concerts just to get people to come out and vote. Me and a couple friends, we went to it was R.Kelly, and at that time Neo was just popping off. He wasn't really there. He was R.Kelly was a headliner. Neo was under him. Keisha Cole was under him. And when I tell you, R.Kelly came out and the women was insane. Even like Keisha Cole's mom, Frankie, rest in peace. She kept coming on stage, like groping him, grinding on him, feeling on him, and like security had to keep coming out and grabbing her, like the women was like going crazy. I was like, wow, like that was my first time ever seeing an R. Kelly show.
And the whole time this nigga ain't even singing to them.
He ain't saying how old ass pussies are here. I want where your daughters at. Y'all got kids at home spring. That's what you want to know. Okay, go on with them. I'll get this. Let me get the rundown on it. Like, you want your kid. Like, and even with when the verdict came out, someone that I know, because everybody,
auntie.
Everybody, right, and that was basically what it was. She was like, I'm gonna pray for the victims, and I'm gonna pray for him, but I'm gonna still play it. I'm like, you stupid. Like, your prayer is now null and void. Like, you think God gonna listen to that one now? Like, girl, go on with that. Like, get out of here. Like, that don't even make sense. That's like me going to shoot somebody talking about, Lord, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. All right, well, let me get on that. Like, you think it's that damn simple? Like, the fuck on. No, it's not that.
So now that I'm back,
but so his album sales, that's what we the streaming is up over 500.
So my question is, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Thank you. Exactly.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, I don't get it. I don't get the shit. I really don't. Like you said, I was the same way. I used to rock with him until I didn't. And I was able to, like I said, I cut that motherfucker off at tp2.com. I ain't listened to R. Kelly since, unless it's been played at a function. Pretty much somebody else had to play it in order for me to hear it and actually listen to it. But he's plead guilty, and it's like I said this before. The Boondocks got it right.
Yeah,
the Boondocks got the shit right.
Black Sims
from the court trial to the fucking celebration.
Yep, the singing
right. And motherfuckers are I don't know, man. I what the fuck is wrong with y'all? That's the only thing I can really say about that. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Let me play devil's advocate. Go
ahead.
Because I don't believe in it, but let me play devil's advocate. All right, so it's one of your heroes or childhood, whoever that you looked up to. that can do no wrong. It's holes in every story. I mean, you can poke holes in every story. So for this person that can't let go of who this person is or their stature or whatever else, I mean, can you kind of see that point or that side of where they're coming from far as
my nigga, if Jordan did some foul ass shit that was inhumane to the point of R.Kelly, to the point where like it affects society like that, nigga, I would throw all these fucking Jordans out today.
Okay, so but we're talking about the person that says, you know what? How do we know for sure? They could be lying on him. No.
We all was alive in that moment when everybody was pushing out a child pornography tape. And I hate that. That's the reality. Like, this is the part of school.
So what if it's the person that believes that's his brother? That was his initial story.
The part of Scooby-Doo where you pull the mask off.
Yeah.
The part of Scooby-Doo. No, like everyone was watching a child pornography that was not his brother. Cut the fucking shit. That was that motherfucker that was doing it. His brother probably doing the same sick shit. We're not saying that his brother don't do nothing nasty. Here is the problem. Everybody, he is falling and he won't try to grab everybody and make them fall down with him. Bitch, this is your fault, bitch. You fall. This is your
I don't see him grabbing everybody. I think it's the apologists and the supporters that are saying it wasn't just him or us people with common sense.
He said that he was going to name some more names now that he has went down, because there's of course we know there's more out there.
Has he named more names?
They'll come out.
They probably will. And you know what?
They're not gonna come out right now because it doesn't make sense to come out right now, because then it's one of them things where the dust has to settle. And then
they got and then the lawyers got to tell him what he about to face.
Yeah, he got to know what he's about to be.
Well, sentences ain't till next year, like
that's what I'm saying. But
with that, if things go like movie wise and all the other shit, if he was to name names, I think that, and even depending on what the names is, because I don't even think he would name all the names, because I think he could probably name some Jay-Z type names if he wanted to.
If he did, he would die the same way that old boy died when he was going up against the Clintons with all of that shit. And it was like, he killed himself. Yeah, all of that shit. Look, we know how this game goes. We know how this shit goes. This is not new shit. We just on a different episode. This is it. Like, we know how this shit plays out. And if you believe in the law of the land, that what goes around comes around, you ain't got to worry about naming no names and taking people down for you. Karma got that. God got that. Like that. You don't get to choose how everyone gets their get back. You don't get that, unfortunately.
Well, that's not our thought process, though. A lot of people just don't have that patience or want to wait for karma to come in. Like, people gonna be like, you know what, motherfucker, you're going down with me. If I go down, you going down with me.
Right, and that's the problem. Motherfuckers are so impatient. Yeah. Motherfuckers are so fucking impatient when it comes to certain shit, and it's like sometimes you have to fucking sit. You have to sit and wait.
Yeah,
whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Like, the shit's just sick, like, all the way around. Like, anybody that's sitting there and trying to excuse this shit, still labeling this man a genius. This man is a predator. This man is a sexual deviant. That's what he is. Quit trying to paint a different paint and try to make him different, bro. It is what the fuck it is. Accept it for what it is. Like, I know there's a lot of feelings, but get the fuck over it. This is the truth of the matter. He's a predator. He made predator music, and y'all like it, and y'all sit there talking, but I'm still going, how? I'm just trying to figure out, like, well, how do you do that? Like, how does somebody with a heart and a mind, hell, with kids for that matter, if I had a daughter, there'd be no fucking way. I'm not listening to that shit.
And that's why I was getting, that's the point I was gonna get to. Reggie, I know you playing devil's advocate for conversation wise, but dog, we got daughters, man.
Absolutely.
We both got baby girls, and so I already know. I'm like, hell no.
And the music wasn't hitting like, hey, quit acting like this nigga Stevie Wonder. Quit acting like this nigga ever songs in the key of life. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. It ain't hitting like that, dog. I promise you. Stevie Wonder smack anything a nigga got. It's the greatest album.
That's the verses we need.
I can't nobody go up against Stevie Wonder. They get smoked. That's like they
yeah. But so not to separate the man from his music, his catalog is one of those catalogs though.
He has a hell of a catalog, but
he not just his singing catalog, shit that he's wrote and produced for other people.
Oh yeah.
So canceling him and canceling anything he's touched is
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Yeah.
So no more Ron Isley, no more Kelly Price, no more Aaliyah, no more. You can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Aaliyah first album, Aaliyah still had smoke after like One in a Million came out. The Aaliyah album.
I don't want to get into Aaliyah because I got a different opinion on Aaliyah. I have an opinion on Aaliyah.
Okay, shoot.
I have an opinion. That's not on the docket. I have.
Damn.
So, real quick. Quick, I'll go real quick, and then we're gonna get right into Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
So, Aaliyah's album. What was the one that came out right before she had that tragic death?
Aaliyah, the Red album.
Was dead. No one liked it. It was dead. It fell out. It after the first week, it wasn't even charting. She passed away. It jumped back. Just like everybody that passed away, Pop Smoke album did the same thing. Biggie's album did the same thing. Tupac's album did the same thing. No one was checking for Aaliyah. She passed away. You can look up the numbers. I've done it.
Okay.
We had this conversation before. Aaliyah came into a whole different light after that tragic death. But so Dave Chappelle, we're not even gonna talk about the thing. So because of course we know there's controversy around everything he said.
Yeah.
But so this week, which is a new week because the actual the closer came out last week? It came out last week, right? And of course there was a lot of controversy surrounded around that then far as in everything he said, the LGBTQ plus, we gotta add the plus in there because there's more acronyms.
Yeah.
But they're severely offended by everything that he said. This week, well, they were calling for Netflix to cancel him. Netflix said, no, this is our guy. We're standing behind him or beside him or wherever they're going to stand. We're going to support him. So now the trans workers or people that consider themselves trans, whatever else, that work for Netflix are planning a walkout or a strike, a planned strike or organized strike. I think it's this Tuesday coming up.
So do they not realize that Netflix will just replace them with somebody else that can fill that seat?
I want to fill one of them seats.
Right. Like if please walk out. Look, please walk out. And please let it be a position that I'm qualified for, because I would proudly fucking apply for that position. Netflix ain't gonna care because Netflix got their money. Netflix continue to make their money.
Always
you fucking walking out ain't gonna do shit to Netflix. That shit ain't gonna hurt Netflix.
Who wanna come make $20 an hour? I'll sit here, I come slide on over and get my ass.
That shit ain't gonna hurt Netflix, man. So I mean, with the controversy that came up, I said the motherfuckers who are upset at Dave Chappelle went into it looking for something to point a finger at. They never listened to what he actually said in the stand-up. I'm like, and then on top of that, it's jokes, but like we said, Reggie, I don't hear the fucking outrage when you talking about black people.
We've got to the point to where you can't criticize anybody in the LGBT community.
But they fucking criticize the shit out of each other.
You should be able to criticize anybody. If I'm talking about women, I'm talking about men, I'm talking about gays, I'm talking about trans, I'm talking about black, white, Asian, Hispanic, everybody. If I don't leave none of y'all out,
right,
I'm an equal hater or whatever. What's the issue? I'm talking about all y'all the same. You can laugh at me talking shit about a white man, but when I start talking about black people, you can't.
Right.
But when I talk about Asian, like I'm talking about all y'all races. Like, look, Hispanics do some fucked up shit, blah, 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 blah. Blacks do, whites do. But then when I get to Asians, oh, you can't say that about us. Well, why was you laughing when I said the shit about black people and chicken and watermelon? Or white people with cottage cheese and pimento cheese or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Mexicans and damn burritos. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, Asians.
But like I said, motherfuckers, they went into there with the agenda not to like the stand-up. And what I appreciated about Dave Chappelle is that he hit that shit right within the first 5 minutes of his stand-up. Mm-hmm. He went head in. But there's also an explanation as the joke goes on. But motherfuckers are so busy looking for something to pull to fucking write about or talk about that they're not hearing the rest of the joke.
Yeah. I wish people took that, if it doesn't apply to me, let me just.
Right.
I'm just not to it. Like if I know what this part, like knowing what a person, jokes about, talks about, sings about, it's so easy to avoid these things. Like nobody's making you do this shit. Like Dave even said it on one of his stand-ups. Remember, you clicked on my face, motherfucker. Like he said, like you willingly, you seeing what it is. It's like no one's making you like it is required that every human being watch this stand-up or we will execute you. Like no, there's nothing that damn deep. So when you go looking for the intention to be upset, then you're going to be upset. Like that's what you're going there for. That's the only thing you get out of it. You're not gonna go in there and think that he's gonna be super apologetic and kiss your ass and make you feel like a princess. Like that's not what he does. That's not what his stand-up is. If you know what his stand-up entails, it's so easy to ignore it. Like so easy.
But what's changed? I mean, from the last stand-up to the stand-up before this, nothing has changed. So you are looking for something if you gonna listen to him, because ain't shit changed between the stand-ups. He doesn't do the same jokes, but he talks about everybody. He does the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
So you just can't tune in. Oh, I'm just gonna watch him to listen to him talk bad about black people.
I love
but once he gets the gays, then I'm gonna be offended.
Yeah, like that doesn't even make sense. But and also that cancel, this whole cancel culture thing, that's not even a thing. I don't know who came up with that terminology. Nobody ever truly gets canceled. Like nothing ever happens. I.e. the first topic we just touched on, R.Kelly, because if we were so-called counseling people, then how the fuck did he get 5% plus on his sales? Just doesn't make sense. So y'all can't, it's just one of those things. I really wish like you would not go looking for something to hurt your own feelings. It's like girls like going through your man's phone. If you feel like he doing wrong, sis, that's pretty much it. You don't have to go searching through phones, inboxes and shit to go further hurt your heart. You ain't gotta do that. Save yourself some trouble, sis.
You know what? You just brought up a conversation. Put this in my notes.
Someone go through your phone.
It's
not even go through the phone, but yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm like, I think back to when he did Killing Them Softly. Yeah. And he talked about his fucking agent. He was like, he gotta, his agent's white, and he did the little white voice. Everybody fucking kikied and hi. Nobody batted a goddamn eye. Like I ain't hear nothing then. When you talk about, like I said, when you talk about us, I don't hear shit then.
I just didn't hear anything offensive, but then again, I'm not a part of that community, and I don't know. I didn't hear it. Like
it's hard to tell people what should offend them and what shouldn't offend them. Right. It's hard to tell people that. So I get that point, but if you're gonna sit here and laugh at other people's trauma and all that other shit, you should kind of be. I mean, I think we all have to have some kind of level of sensitivity or insensitivity to where we can laugh at ourselves. Like if I was to make a joke about Smurf, or depending on what the joke is, okay, I can laugh at myself a little bit, but you getting a little too personal now. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, hold on now. taken a little too far.
Right. I'm finna say, Reggie, we had that issue.
I laughed at the first shit, but hold on now. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like you should have some kind of level of sensitivity to where you like we all in a group setting. I trip and fall down. Okay, yeah, the shit was funny. But now you start talking about, man, hey, besides that, did you see how Reggie and then like, okay, hold on now.
Right. I've been saying, look, Reggie, we've had that issue before, and we hashed it out.
So I think the level of sensitivity matters, and I just think that the community, and none of us are saying anything negative or bad about, because you got to say that these days, because they will come for you. They will come for you. But you know, I support the community. I mean, your preference is your preference, but I think we should all be able to laugh at each other and or ourselves in some sense. You know what I'm saying? To an extent.
Let's laugh. It's a joke. Just laugh it out.
It is.
I don't ask some shit like that.
I don't think we should take ourselves so serious that we can't take a joke. Because I'm like, because you take it, to me, it's like you're taking a piece out of your life. You're taking the fun out of your life, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Like, shit. If I showed y'all my damn group chat and how we joke on each other, like one of my group chats and how we joke on each other, man, we be flaming each other. Mm-hmm. And it be on some, and we'll say some reckless shit, but we know it's jokes. Right. We know it's strictly jokes. We know that it's no harm in it. Right. And there's never no love lost, within the group. And I think that's what helped me develop my skin as far as when it comes to being able to laugh at myself. Because I'm like, man, if I can take jokes from them, I can take jokes from anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do y'all feel about just, I'm not gonna say them forcing it, but that's what it seems like, just pushing it out there to the sexuality, being gay, trans, or whatever else on the younger generation, as far as in our kids at whatever age they are, i.e., it came out this week that Superman's son, Jon Kent, my bad, which I didn't even know, because that's how much I've been following Superman since whenever, because DC is just terrible. But I didn't even know Superman and Lois had a son. But
that's really what I was about to say.
First time I hear about Jon Kent is he's a teenager, or he's a new Superman, and he's gay. So I'm like, because at first it said Superman, so I'm like, so now after all the years I've been alive and hearing about Superman, he's been in the closet and now, been married to Lois and doing all this other stuff. So now he's all of a sudden gay. Then it said Jon Kent. I'm like, well, who the fuck is Jon Kent? Yeah. So, then that brings into, okay, he has a son. So, but growing up, I didn't care I didn't know. I can honestly say I didn't know the sexuality of the superheroes I had. Lion-O from Thundercats, Duke or Sergeant Slaughter, or whoever else from G.I. Joe, the X-Men, Marvel, Iron Man, the Hulk, whoever. I didn't care about their sexual preference. But for some reason, these days, today, heroes, cartoon characters, everything else, like it has to be, they have to be humanized, and they have to be, so for some reason, kids and generations these days have to identify with these people. I didn't identify to the Incredible Hulk because I didn't turn green and grow muscles and smash shit. Like, it was a cartoon. I liked it. It went on, it went off, and that was the end of it.
Right. Yeah.
So why do our kids, this generation, have to identify with these characters? And now, so in order, your 5-6-year-old son or daughter, they may think they're fluid gender, or they might think they're gay. Mm-hmm. Why do they have to identify with this character? Why do they have to have a superhero that they can identify with?
Can't identify with any superhero because superheroes aren't real. Like, I have not ever seen anyone walking around with these human powers that they've shown us. What happened to is only entertainment. Now it's just trying to cross the line and trying to make people identify. I think my biggest issue with all of this shit and what I've realized this year is that everybody gets judged on their sexuality, and I don't know why. I really don't know why.
That's a great question.
Because your sexuality is just that. It's yours. It's your personal preference, what you are into. It's really not anybody's business what you're into, because that's more of a private thing. You're not gonna be fucking outside in the park in front of kids. Like, you're not doing that shit. You'll go to jail and you'll have to be on the sex offender list. I'm just giving y'all a timeline, so don't do that shit. But don't get out here and get adventurous. But what we're doing, like, sexually, it shouldn't be something that we're looking at each other and being like, I think he eats pussy. I'm not sure. Just something. Or maybe he likes dick. I'm not looking at, when I'm looking at a guy that I find attractive, I'm not automatically thinking about that. Or when I see someone attractive, period, I don't, anyone, if like someone looks beautiful, a woman look beautiful, I'm like, I wonder if she likes girls or guys. I don't like, no, girl, you just look beautiful. Like, just take the compliment, take your ass on. Like, it's really not that deep. I just feel like everybody getting judged down to this one thing. And when we're human beings, make up so much more than just sexuality. That's just a part of it. Like, what about a personality? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't even have a fucking personality, but they swear that they can have like the best sex ever. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, it should be more than that. Even when it comes down to just like even parents with their kids, raising their kids. I don't want my son to be gay. Well, why does that matter to you? Because that's what he chooses to. Like, that's not something that you taught him. It's just something that that's what he feels attraction to. So that's what he wants to do. There's nothing that you could have done differently to be like, oh man, I just did so much. Like, I took him to the titty bar. I got him a stripper. Like, you're doing stupid shit because only thing that you was trying to teach your son was the sexuality part of it, when you should have been instilling manners into your kids. That is an element that people are missing these days, because women still out here cannot tell a man no, thank you, a simple rejection without losing her life or being called out of her name.
Thank you for saying that.
It's a lot of shit like that. How about we teach kids that? Like, learn how to take rejection. Everybody ain't gonna want you, okay? That's the reality of it. You can be as fine as you want to be, as great as a person overall, but that doesn't mean that everybody's gonna want to fuck with you. And you gotta be okay with that. Take that no and just move on. Like, and then most of these women, unfortunately, and it breaks my heart, like, they literally just was so polite to these men. No, thank you. No, they ain't cuss them out. They ain't call their mama a bitch. They ain't, give all the extra negative energy. Just simple, no, thank you. And they literally lost their lives, or they was raped by these men because they literally could not just take no. And like, how about teaching your kids that? Learn how to take rejection. It's okay. You ain't gonna die because somebody told you no, or they don't want to fuck with you. And this is overall. This is not even just man, woman shit. This is overall. A job tells you no. Learn how to take that rejection. Like, you don't go back and shoot the job up. You don't cuss the people that interviewed you out because they told you no. Nigga, take that no. It's cool. Right. The no's build character. They really do. Like, because your life ain't going to be perfect. And everybody ain't always going to tell you yes. That's the reality of it. You're not always going to go away.
We're raising a bunch of entitled
exactly
generation. Yeah.
She's supposed to give me her number. She's supposed to, let me rock with her. Like, I've even had to deal with that. Just being, a woman, just guy approaches me, I'm supposed to just, look, someone's here. They're approaching me. Hey, how you doing? Like, even if I'm not attracted, that somebody came over here and I'm supposed to be grateful. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And
like, no.
Go ahead. No, you good.
No, that was it.
No, it's interesting that you brought that up, because actually that's why I was going to close with. Actually, that conversation, I was actually going to close with that. But yeah. But to get back,
I'm just going to go.
Jon Kent.
Gonna go. I'm about to say, I'm just going to go get this collection plate real quick for Red.
Yeah, but no. To get back to Jon Kent and to close him out, I don't know. I guess I understand what they're doing or trying to do, but I I think they're forcing the hand to where you are going to have to do things a lot sooner than you want to, i.e. start teaching your kid about sexuality or sex or whatever else at a younger age that they don't even comprehend or grasp things, you know, than you want to, just because of they're going to push this stuff out. I was listening to this podcast and this guy was talking about how his son was telling him that he was gay. He said his son was 6 years old, and he was talking to his son, and he was like, "Well, what makes you think you're gay? Why do you think you're gay?" And he said, "Because I like boys. Such and such is my best friend, which is, and I'll just use a name. John is my best friend." He was like, "Okay, so I mean, okay, he's your best friend and you like him. I mean, what makes you think you want to have sex with him?" And he said his son looked at him and didn't know what he was talking about. His son don't know nothing about sex. But so here it is. The teacher was telling the kids, it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be a lesbian. If you like somebody, if you're a boy and you like another boy, you know, you're gay, it's okay. That's fine. If you're a girl, you like another girl, you're a lesbian, that's fine. So his son understood it as is, okay, I like John because John is my best friend. So that must mean I'm gay.
Right.
His son don't know nothing about sex. He just thinks he's gay automatically because the teacher said, if you like another boy, you're gay. Yeah. I like John. John's my best friend, so that means I'm gay.
Try to simplify it, and you can't do that shit with kids.
You can't. Yeah, that's something you can't simplify.
But why are you telling a 6-year-old kid that?
Exactly.
In a school setting at that.
If it's not sex ed right now, Miss Johnson, then you shouldn't be talking about that.
Right.
Because we just randomly bringing that shit up. But also, again, like I said, what does sexuality have to do with anything? What you need to be teaching these kids is motherfucking manners. Yes, no, not yeah, what? Teach them how to go on an interview. Teach them how to, you know, fucking have a bank account, you know, how to pay some fucking bills. Like, teach these kids real life lessons that they actually will need coming in. Like, the sexuality shit will work itself out. You can't teach that shit. Talking about, hey, who likes this? You like that? You like that?
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and all this. Yeah, but
you should be telling me, like, you should tell me, like, the protection side of it, the sexual disease side of it. Like, if you're gonna tell me anything, educate me on what is actually going on, not what am I feeling. That's another thing that needs to happen. Like, teach kids like actual sex ed. Like, if we get to a certain age, they should know about condoms. They should know about birth control. They should know about STDs, STIs, all of these things, because these motherfuckers, they so brainless. They thinking like, if we do sex this way, it's not really sex. And it's like, y'all trying to do loopholes and shit, just trying to avoid the inevitable. Like, someone needs to educate you, because you have someone, they give kids fear tactics when it comes to sex. It's like, don't do it, when you should just tell them what the fuck is going on. Like, how you feeling today? Like, literally tell me how you feel. Well, sometimes I wake up in the morning, like, you know, my you dig, so you be like, so what's that about? And then you have to, you know, then tell them what that is, and then what wet dreams are, and all of these things. Like, there's so much more to it than just I like you, you like me, all right, let's go. Like, that's not education. That's simple shit. That's step one.
Right.
Other steps to follow.
Yeah, and you know, you went lower level far as in just manners and all other shit, because you said yes, no. I mean, we was raised on yes, sir, no, ma'am, all that other stuff. So, and that ma'am was in there. You could say that shit, and they'd be like,
right, excuse me.
I didn't hear no. Who are you talking to? Yes, ma'am.
I don't know who you talking.
But just to transition, I found this topic real, and I haven't talked political stuff in a while because it just hasn't been a lot going on political. But I found this topic kind of interesting. I saw that there's a coalition, a group, or whatever else that called itself the NFAC coalition, which stands for the Not Fucking Around Coalition, and they basically formed that coalition to when everything was popping off in the last year or two, whether it was Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, or whatever else. And it's a group of Black people that were licensed gun owners, and they were licensed to carry openly, everything else. So anytime there was a big protest going on, whether it was Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, they showed up and they marched, because they were, I guess, the protectors of the black rioters or protests or whatever else, because of, during the years we have seen it to where black people would protest, march, or whatever else, and there would be white people that would join in, but not join in for the purposes of what black people were doing. They were joining in to incite riots or incite, violence, and make it look like black people were not doing, not peacefully protesting or whatever else. So now the leader of this coalition has been arrested, and they're charging him with all kind of offenses. The main one they're saying is that he pointed a gun at a at a police officer, which holds a heavy crime, which we don't know if he did or he didn't. And now they're trying to, I guess. So for me, that is an attempt to start labeling this group as an extremist group, which we can call out a couple of groups that's not labeled as extremist group. So when y'all hear this, how do y'all feel about it? What does that say to y'all about just this group and it being, for us, supposedly for us?
Go ahead, Smart.
Like when I first seen them marching or whatever, I thought they were just more so not necessarily a group, but just at least a group of people who just so happen to be licensed carriers, things like that. Pretty much shit that you would see on the other side. Motherfuckers who are licensed carriers, not afraid to openly carry and go on these marches or whatever. But once I figured out that they were an actual group or whatever, I was just like, okay, my thing was let's hear them out. Let's see what they, let's see who they are. Let's figure out who they are, because I had no clue who the fuck they were. Mm-hmm. And then as time went on, I was just like, I guess, because my thing was, I didn't know if they were doing this for show or were they actually legit as far as what they were saying who they were. Mm-hmm. With the allegations that are going on with the leader, I hope he didn't point a gun at a police officer.
So it's actually, and I'll let you get back to it. It's two allegations. I forgot to say this one. So the gun, well, you've been in the military.
Yeah.
They always say muzzle awareness. Yeah. You pick your gun up off the ground, and you be like, hey, who the fuck you pointing that shit at?
Right.
Oh, shit, my bad. I was just picking the motherfucker up. Like, I didn't know I could pick it up like this, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? But so the other one, they said, because they were in Louisville, they said if the officers are not found guilty, then we as black people should burn this city down. So they said he was inciting violence in the city of Louisville, among other things. So they're labeling him as an extremist or potential terrorist. So that is another charge. Go ahead, my bad.
I'll call bullshit on, especially on that second part. The first part, like you said, I don't know. I can't make that call. But that second part I call bullshit, because we've had white people do the same shit. We've had white people fucking go in on the fucking Capitol. Yep. Live on television.
Full turn up.
Full turn up. So
that shit was crazy.
So if you want to label him an extremist, let's label all of them extremists too, if we're gonna go that route.
Yep. That's how it should be. But unfortunately, we don't get that same in return. And sometimes you should already know that going in. Anytime that we form to any kind of organization that we form together, you already know when it's too many of us together, they automatically gonna find a way to taint it. Because that's what's pretty much happened with any movement that's been created by us. Black Panthers, same thing. It was something that was positive that started out okay. We just wanted just simple shit, you know what I'm saying? Just simple police ourselves. Let's take care of the women and the kids. Let's put it back into the community. Let's, police and protect our own. Simple shit. But for some reason, I don't know what this human thing is that everybody wants to control the other person. Like that shit's weird. Everybody wants to police the next person, but don't want to be policed themselves. So it just doesn't even make sense. It's like a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Part of me, you know, with the whole, you know, burning the city down shit with the Breonna Taylor shit, I was one of those people, and this is my hometown. I was like, but I know people from here. I know how Louisville people rock. So I know it ain't gonna be none of us because a lot of niggas is scary. Like it's a lot of talk, but it ain't a whole lot of action. It will take somebody from outside to at least start one of them, and then it's monkey see, monkey do type shit. Like that's the only way it's gonna fly. Right. But I mean, I'm all for it. Like if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. If that's what gotta get done, it's what gotta get done. I just feel like you'll never get the same in exchange, because what happened January 6th shouldn't have never happened, because if that was a group of Black people, it would have been.
Oh my God.
They would have. I'm talking about took us out live on CNN, and CNN wasn't gonna cut the cameras. Like they was gonna let you watch, you know, a whole bunch of Black people get ate the fuck up with what they'll lie and say that would be like rubber bullets, and then it'd be like an actual casualty, and then it'd just be like, oh well, you know, get these niggas out the way. And that's why it's hard to, like, although we have to do something, because if you don't do anything, then nothing will change. Like I understand that. Like you got to put forth some kind of effort.
These days you have to go extreme. You have to be extreme.
You have to do it. Yeah, you have to. Like you cannot be soft and marshmallowy in this shit if this is your path to choose to take. If you want to be one of those people, sometimes you do have to be an actual martyr. We're not talking about Biggie and Tupac, because them niggas didn't die for the sake of, you know, free healthcare and no shit like that. Them niggas, they got murdered. That was it. Simple as that. It wasn't anything as deep as, you know, dying on the cross or nothing like that. But when you hear about certain Black Panther leaders that have been murdered by the hands of police, like, you do your research, watch those movies, and you'll know of who I speak of. Like all of those people were taken out just as for simple as shit. Just they want to protect their community. Yeah. They weren't bothering them. It wasn't a real threat to them. Not at all. It was just like, if police had to be called, then you need an assistant, because for some reason y'all get this honor and y'all just feel like y'all can just do whatever, and it shouldn't be that way, because you wouldn't handle white people the same way that you would handle Black people, and that's fucked up, because we're people. Like it's an overall human experience. Like it's people shit. Like a white man, white people are not afraid of the police. They get up in the police's face. They don't care. Drunk, all kind of shit. Cuss out, call them kind of cunts, pussy, all it. And the policeman ain't reached for a gun yet. Nope, but if you let Black ass, and this is men and women, you even act like you mad walking towards them, and they gonna take your motherfucking life. They ain't even gonna think about it. But it wasn't a threat when Brad was in your face, calling you out your name and spitting in your face, calling you all kind of shit. Right. It didn't feel threatened then. That was an actual threat. That's a threat. Someone being in your space and you feel threatened. Yes, that's a threat. Someone that's just simply reaching for a cell phone or a wallet that you just asked them to get. Like you asked me to get my license and registration. Yet when I move, you take my life, nigga. I am not a genie. This is not Bewitched. I ain't twinkling my nose and my shit just gonna magically come over, my nigga. I have to move to get this shit. Like it's fucked up all the way around.
I'm inclined to say, how about I get out and tell you where it's at and you get the motherfucker. But so yeah, with you saying that, and the difference is because, you know, as far as in the Capitol riots, even when they were on, you know, doing their you know, in court, and the police officers were saying, you know, how they felt and everything else. We felt threatened, we felt this, we felt that. We didn't see no public outrage. We didn't see Blue Lives Matter hashtag, none of that shit. Had it been Black people that rioted, they would have been talking about Blue Lives Matter. These officers were scared for their life. They did this, they did that, Like none of that shit was trending. I just found that particular subject interesting because, like I said, I think it's, you know, if they can bring down the leader on some charges or whatever else, of course, it's going to be someone that steps up while he is gone and he's out, which hopefully nothing happens to him. Right. But then I think that is the next step into, okay, labeling this group as an extremist group and putting them on a list. And as I said, you know, when I intro this, when I brought it in, there are other groups, i.e. the KKK, which is still not labeled an extremist group. I don't think are the Aryans an extremist group?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Well, no.
I mean, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of interested in now.
ISIS and Al-Qaeda. That's probably your goddamn extremist group, or what they consider here in the United States as extremist.
And they're not even residents here.
Exactly.
They have sectors, but that's primarily something else that's overseas.
Right.
Even go here. It's like it's Mean Girls.
Yeah. You don't even go here.
She doesn't even go here.
But hey, I was on the phone with this young lady. She had called me and she asked me this question, and she had basically said she's out here dating now, and this older woman had had told her to how did she put it? She said and she said it was like her aunt, but she said that she told her, if she's out here dating and doing whatever else, just I would advise you to have a little side thing or someone that you regularly, I guess are having sex with, if you're out here dating. So you're not out here making bad dating decisions based on sex because you're sex deprived. So i.e. if so let me try to explain it better. So if I'm dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even better term. All right, let's say I'm going out on a date and I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this nut out. So I don't go out here and make a bad decision.
Post nut clarity.
And then compound this bad decision with the relationship based on my horniness or whatever else. So as we know, so I would recommend, if you're dating, probably if you're open dating, is great. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't necessarily be attached or tied down to one person if you're open dating. If you're trying to, get to know whoever or figure out what you're going to do, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket until we say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. It's going to be me, you, or this is how I feel. How do you feel? Oh, I don't feel the same. Okay, well, we can go out different ways. But I guess so she was saying, I have somebody with familiarity that I'm having sex with here and there, whatever else. But I'm dating these guys. I'm not having sex with them. But as far as in me dating them, going out with them, I'm not sex deprived. So I'm not pressed to have sex with them. So the sex part doesn't cloud my judgment on basing relationships with them.
That's too much.
I guess
that's a lot.
She's looking too far into it.
Yeah.
Like okay, if you're going to date, then go ahead and date. If you're gonna have sex with whoever you're gonna have sex with. Be responsible about the shit.
Okay, Smurf, but so for women it's different. Because sex naturally, well, not naturally, for a lot of women, sex clouds judgment for a lot of women. A lot of women will fall in love with dick or how you sex them or whatever else.
They become dickmatized.
And think it's love.
Right.
And it's not love.
Right.
When all along you could be doing the same thing to 5 or 6 other different women and don't give a fuck about them. You just fucking.
Right. I mean, it depends on the mindset of the person. And then, but like you said, if you're dating, like if it's just a straight, we're dating and you're pretty much trying to figure out what direction you're trying to go in, then fucking do whatever it is that you think is best for you. Like so don't put all these fucking stipulations into it.
If you want to fuck, just fuck. Don't.
Right.
You sound like me.
But that's the thing though. I think motherfuckers, they get so caught up into what dating's supposed to be and all this shit. And it's just like, yo, they say date with a purpose, but sometimes I look at it, sometimes you have to fucking date to figure out who it is that matches you. Mm-hmm. So, and then if sex comes up, then it is what it is. Shit, you fucking grown. Mm-hmm. I mean, am I tripping or? Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but I don't put so much stake into it to where this shit is going to cloud any judgment to what I'm looking for.
Yo, I do not know what y'all keep saying to make Siri start wanting to talk, but like it's like keywords here and there that y'all say.
Siri says she's trying to be a part of the goddamn episode. I don't know what the fuck.
But so before you speak, am I wrong to say that there are a lot of women that fall in love with what you do to them sexually, and that clouds their judgment relationship wise?
Yeah, to a certain degree, but of course I'm only gonna speak just for me. That's just, you got to be realistic. That's not love, that's lust.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right.
Love, like certain shit requires certain sacrifices. So if just because we have good sexual chemistry doesn't necessarily mean that it could, pan out to be anything else, because like, again, you got to have a personality. It's so easy to connect with someone sexually. It's like, how you like that? Like, it's a physical thing. Like that's not hard to obtain really these days. And I think everybody just like Smurf said, people put too much out into what society wants dating to look like, when dating is literally is what you're doing. So it's what you want it to look like, and no one has to understand it but you and the person and the people that you are dating. And if you can explain it to them what your thoughts are, what you feel, and if it's something that they can get down with, then yeah. I just also think that people have to stop letting their how can I say this? People have to stop letting their I'm shooting from the hip. People have to stop letting their pussies and their dicks rule their minds with the arm fist. That's what you have to stop doing. You need to have some kind of control over your pussy and your dick. Everybody can't get access to it. They shouldn't. And if you feel like you got the urge to do so, then there's a deeper thing that you need to search for. That I've never wanted so many men to touch me ever in my life. Never. Mm-hmm. Never wanted to. Every nigga I come like, ooh. Yeah, that nigga can run up in hard pass, my nigga. Like, yeah, every nigga that offers head, because that seems to be the going thing these days. Like, niggas will offer you head before they even offer you $1. I don't get it, because your mouth is more sacred than your wallet, because this motherfucker's with you for life. Like, all of this shit's forever. The money's fleeing. You know what I'm saying? The money come, money go. But you want to put your mouth in every pussy that come by you, nigga, you sick. That brother sick. That brother,
you a nasty motherfucker.
Nasty nigga.
Brother, you are so lost.
You are so.
Why are you always saying nasty shit, Ray?
Because I'm a nasty motherfucker.
Like, that's what they do. And then I know there's some women out there that do the same thing. I just wish people, you gotta control your sexual urges. Like, you really shouldn't be out here. Like, there's no reason for you to have a fuck buddy and you're dating. I'm not dealing with that many people. It's too much. It's too much energy. And when you have to realize, when people step into your closer, your enter, your sanctuary, that's very sacred. Everything should be treated as sacred, like some kind of sacred. And if you always let every nigga in, then you have to ask yourself why your energies are muddy and fucked up. There's too many energies in here.
So is that sex based, or let's just say you're
not even sex based, because that's even in friendship. Because
so if you're only going out with one person, so if you're entertaining one person, you're only entertaining one person. Like, you're not gonna, like, okay, you know what? I'm not attached to nobody. I can go out with Tim today, you know what I'm saying, and go out with Mike, 3 days from now. And, once whoever I'm feeling the most, or whoever wants to get serious and seem like they have their shit together and there's something I want, then I'll start diverting my attention to them more. So you don't open date like that. You just, if it's one person, it's just one person.
I can't date like that no more. I used to be able to date like that. I can't. My mental bandwidth it won't allow me to deal with too many niggas. Because I'm about to sound fucked up, but a lot of motherfuckers y'all don't even know what it's like to even be around y'all. Like, you really think you're a pleasure and you're actually a terror. I and that's why I would feel like, people be like, oh yeah, you want to have like, 5 or 6 up, and that's too much. It's too much. You want to know why? Because that's 5 or 6 different issues. That's 5 or 6 different energies. And like, then you got to remember 5 or 6 different things about each one of these people without fucking up, crossing up stories and shit. Because this one nigga lost his Aunt Lisa, then you date another nigga, you be like, so how your Aunt Lisa? He be like, who the fuck is that? Shit.
Okay. All right. I get you. So I get you. So this is a actual subject topic that I did have, but I took off. But so if you was to, I guess, find a guy and he was like, hey, look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There are other women that I'm entertaining that I go out on dates with. Sex is not involved, but I will let you know, I do, go out on dates here and there. And I'm in a dating phase. I'm figuring out who's right for me, who do I like, or whatever else. How does that make you feel? Does that make you pause and say, you know what? I'd rather not?
It depends on what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It depends on where I'm at.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
Yeah, because I could probably be on the same thing and give the same energy at it. That's not saying that I'm out here picking up, random dates with Rodney and them. Like, no, like, just because that's what you doing, that don't mean that's what I'm on. Like, that's just for me. Like, if that's what you choose to do, that's fine. Like, the outcome. Now, if you decide that, within these other chicks that you may have came across someone that you click better with, all that I ask is you let me know where it ends at. Absolutely. So that I'm not sitting over here, pining after something and thinking it's going to be more, and you've already, what I'm saying, well, I like her, so I'm gonna go rock her. And I'm like, damn, like not saying like I thought I made the cut, and not no shit like that, because I'm not competing. That's just crazy. But it's just like, damn, I thought we meshed well, and just let me know where to cut it off at, because I'm not the kind of woman that'll be like, oh, why? Why'd you do that? Like, literally, if you tell me what it is, that is what it is. Like, there's no need for you to write me a book or essay to be like, details where, on the 3rd, you had said you was going to do this, but you didn't. So that was like, you had failed right there. Cause like, this ain't class, my nigga. Like, you're not a teacher. Like, you're giving me steps like, see, I had said in this sentence and you had misspoke. Like, you're not going to treat me like that. But if you like, cause some stuff just happens like organically, and it'll fill itself out. And sometimes when you just do your due diligence to make sure you tell anyone else that may feel a way about you that, hey, someone else is, caught my attention. So I'm gonna, tune into that, see where that takes me. I hope you understand, for lack of a better term. If not, take care, be that type of shit. Like,
right. So theoretically,
that shit though. That's the problem. A lot of dudes don't do that, right? It's just like, oh, it ain't that serious, and then he pops up like on your feet engaged, like that kind of shit.
Well, dudes and women, and theoretically that's great, but I mean, I think a lot of people are not wanting to hurt somebody else's feelings, but I think if you're open from the jump, I think you can date with a purpose that way, and letting someone know, like, hey, look, like, I'm not asking you to make yourself look like gold in order to win my love over whatever else. And that's another topic I want to get into, who's actually the prize, the man or the woman, because that shit is floating around, but we'll talk about that some other time. But who's the prize or who's the catch? But I think you can date, with a purpose and date multiple people, because I think I don't advise anyone to put all their eggs in one basket. You can have your options. Like, hey, look, all I'm asking you is to be you. If we go out and we don't vibe, we don't mesh, then we don't vibe, we don't mesh. You know what I'm saying? If you're going out with some other guy and y'all vibe and y'all mesh better, then hey, just let me know. I can fall back. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Hanging on, and that's what a lot of people do. Like, they just leave people hanging on in the the background. And just with hope, because no one fully wants to be like secure with one person. Like, that's fearful to a lot of people. So that's why they always try to keep a spur. But that ain't always necessary. like, because that's dangerous too. Because if you had this, that's like when you try to hide money from yourself, like, you know, it's kind of dangerous. Right. You know, like when it's crunch time, nigga, I know I put it in this mattress and I'm about to pop it.
But you know what's a red flag on this the whole red flag shit? What's a red flag? If someone tell you off the jump, like, hey, you know, nah, I'm not committed with nobody. I don't have a girlfriend or I don't have a boyfriend, but you know, I do have some friends. I have, you know, people I go out with a date. People look at you like, nah, you might be off limits or some shit. Like, no, this motherfucker might actually just be having like or open dating, getting to know people.
But see, the thing is, Reggie, when the people who frown their face up at that have never done that process for themselves. They've never took the time to actually date and actually see who, you know, the person that they're looking for, who fits them. So that's why people who are open about dating get those looks, because of the fact that a lot of people don't go through that process of trying to really figure out who it is that they want.
And they automatically equate sex or having sex to dating.
That part too.
We could be going out on dates. We could have went and never had sex. We
right.
should have had a good time. We went axe throwing or went to escape room.
And that's all. And that, like, back to what you were saying with the aunt and her niece, I guess, I just never wanted that many bodies. Like, if I'm dating this person, then I'm gonna be sexually attracted to this person. So there's really no need for a side dick over here. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I have to, like, all of these things have to click. Like, the personality has to click, you know, the certain like and interests have to click also. But that sexual chemistry has to be there as well. So if I feel that with a person that I'm dating, I'm going to tap into that. There's no reason for me to, why would I go like, I'm so attracted to this person, like, oh my God, you know, at the end of the day, thanks, man, it was great. You get a kiss on the cheek and I'm calling my dick over here to fuck me. That doesn't make sense. That's right.
I think that can fall back on the, okay, I'm the make him wait type person. Because we do have those. We do have women that they're like, you know what, this nigga probably, he ain't gonna get none. He ain't gonna touch it or sniff it. And I mean, it's gonna be about a good 2 or 3 months. But I'm gonna go get my rocks off with this familiar dick until then, so I don't make no bad decisions or judgments in this process.
That sounds like baggage. You're dating with baggage, because that's called a carry-on dick. Now, that's a carry-on dick. Like, that's how you doing. You carrying on dick with you, and it's like, that's not needed for this what you about to do. So it's like, you could have left the dick at home. Like, we didn't need that. If you're dating and you're going to be sexually attracted to them, I would much rather be celibate for those 1 2 months or however long I'm gonna make this person wait, and just, you know, have my toys, have my rose, my handy dandy rose ready to, you know, get me through them days. And then we'll follow through with the rest of that shit. Like I said, don't let your genitalia, you know, rule your motherfucking mind with an iron fist. Like, every time, you know, you can't fall to that shit. You would be a hot ass mess if you fucked everything that your box was like, yeah, let me get some, I'm gonna get on that. Chill, relax. Like,
true. But, hey, before we close this out, Smurf, how long are you willing to wait?
Depends on how much depends on the attraction to the person, because I've been known to sit out. I've sat out before until shit got where it's supposed to go.
If I had some gunshots in here right now, I'll put gunshots on for you.
That's fine.
I would do it.
Because I'm
some
like
applause and all that shit.
I've done it twice. Well, I waited at least 3 months.
Well, so let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
Before you start taking the person serious, how long are you willing to wait?
I'll give a person. Well, are you talking about sex?
Yeah. And that's with you not being sexually active anywhere else. You're saying, you know what? I don't got nothing on the side. I'm not doing nothing with nobody else. I'm just gonna wait for you.
I can do 3 months. I've done it before. I can do at least 3 months. But that's also me constantly having shit on my plate too, to keep me, that helps me keep distracted.
Man, I give all the power to you. Good Lord. I'm not gonna hold you. Oh man,
I've done that shit before. I was like, and I didn't think about it until after the shit happened. I was like, damn, I really went that long. But it was just like, it was
even with the temptation around you.
Hold on,
listen, because you're my guy. This is open space.
No, this is open space.
You're a handsome man, good looking guy, right?
Right.
So
I appreciate that.
You're not hurting. You're not hurting for ass. You're not hurting for cheeks. So at any given time, right or wrong. I don't want to put you on the spot, right or wrong.
I mean,
oh, Smurf, don't do that. Smurf.
Nah, I ain't hurt.
Okay, you're not hurting for cheeks. Whether it's cheeks you want or cheeks you don't want,
right?
There's an option,
right?
So there's temptation. Because
there's always temptation.
Man or woman, there's temptation. So even with the temptation, you're saying, okay, I'm going to not do nothing for 3 months and wait on this woman to figure out, what's next, when we gonna have sex.
That's the thing. I've never. The fact of how long I needed to wait never came up. It's just a fact of, I think the conversation, like with conversation and everything, conversation, and then like the occasional dating, that's what kept me drawn in, and that's what kept my attention.
And it kept you away from all the temptations.
Yeah, and I didn't have to worry about all that. I didn't have to worry about the temptation. Because I mean,
but was that serious dating too?
It turned into serious dating
after the sex or before?
It was like right before. It was like right before, because at that point I'm like, we have been dealing with each other on a consistent basis.
So right before, point, so it was coming then.
So
you might have done sucked the titty before or something. Then like, oh, it's coming.
But like once the sex came, that shit was like a bonus.
It was a bonus. Got you.
Yeah. Niggas can wait. Niggas don't want to wait. That's the thing. We don't want to wait.
You might be right.
We can wait. We can, like, if you literally set your mind to it, you can wait.
You might be right.
But the thing is, like, you have I'm good at compartmentalizing shit. I can set shit in a bucket and not have to worry about that shit. So that's what really helped. That's what really helped me on shit like that. Because I can sit here and but I like this person. So let me put my energy into this, see where it's going, see what it's doing, and whenever the sex comes, it comes.
Okay. Thugger, you want to answer that question, or you gonna leave it alone?
What's the question?
the question I asked.
How long you waiting for sex?
I have no problem with that.
Okay, as a woman, you don't. So I'll go. Like I said, I give him all the kudos. I don't see myself waiting that long, because I group sexual compatibility in there. I can be your friend and like you and still be cool and close. Smurf, no, we have plenty of female friends that I don't have sex with. I haven't had sex with. I don't want to have sex with. But if it's more to that, not saying we got to have sex in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But somewhere down the line, once we start realizing, okay, we're going to start getting a little more serious and not entertaining other people, I'm looking to see how that chemistry goes along with the other chemistries that we have.
And that's why
because my chemistries, like if we're not, we can be fine together. Like we can sit down and have intellectual talks and challenge each other and do all this other stuff and tapping each other. and then we have sex and that shit is off, then that, to me, that shit spills over to other things. Like I like to know where we match, and not saying we have to be completely the same, you know, with that chemistry, but somewhere in like, you know, you can meet a woman that is like the freakiest thing you've ever met in your life, and you was like, you know what, I'm not into a lot of this shit that you like like we just, you know what I'm saying? So we might have to find out where our differences are and how we,
you like the little boy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I don't know, like you like to pull out whips and chains and whip motherfuckers, and you like to peg and all the other shit. That just ain't me, baby. Like you're not.
And the blindfold with the honey, hot wax.
Yeah.
Bitch, burn my back up.
Now, not saying I'm not gonna take a woman serious until we start having sex, but I think
Brady's waiting 2 weeks. I called it. She got to come up out for 2 weeks too. You got 14 days to let me know what it do. Either way, top or the bottom.
See what we're working with. Yeah, see what we're working with. No,
but you do not.
But so I subscribe to the theory that we're adults. We're all adults. I don't have a time. I don't necessarily have a time frame. Because I mean, you can go out with a woman that necessarily loves you, likes you, like, look, I want to give him some pussy right now. Like when we get home, this nigga's about to get it. Or you can meet that woman, it's like, you know what? I like him. I already got the time frame made up in my head. I'm gonna get him something about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month from now, 2 months from now. You know what I'm saying? So I think
we've been on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. It all depends. But I think for me, I start like I gauge like the level of where we're going, how serious we're gonna be, the more intimacy we have. And that don't necessarily mean sexual intimacy. That's conversation. That's
companionship.
But because intimacy don't necessarily mean sexual. You can have intimate conversations, intimate you know, time that you spend with each other and everything else. So I think and that lets you formulate a lot from this person and their mind frame too. But I don't know, that's why I say I applaud. 3 months, I don't know. 3 months. Well, 3 months, if a woman's with me and we're actively entertaining each other and we're going out, dating, seeing each other random times a week, and we ain't had sex in 3 months, it's probably something else. I'm tapping.
Right, you know, slid out. Yeah. I mean, that do bring up more questions.
Until you make that decision to where you want to be, okay, are we exclusive? We serious? We what?
Right.
Because if we're not exclusive and we're not serious like that, then of course, like I'm obligated to fuck who I want to.
Then you just got.
And if she asks, but if she asks, I will let her know. I'm not gonna be like,
Only if she asks. She has to ask.
I mean, do you randomly go around telling guys you like, hey, I know you ain't asked, but me and Mike fucked last night. You know what I'm saying?
What you doing? I know we ain't talking. We want to inform you. Oh, I'm fucking now. All right, cool. You take it.
Yeah, okay, I know you ain't asked, but
I know you didn't. You don't really care, but you know.
I just had to let you know.
Now, so I don't need it from you no more.
FYI, you know, it's been about 3 weeks. You know, we ain't did nothing. I just want to let you know.
I would hope that, you know, since we're all adults, that at least one conversation would be brought up before, you know, you decided to let me go ahead and just, you know, chalk this up to some bullshit and just leave it alone. Like, I would hope that you just wouldn't be like, damn, she ain't get this shit in 3 months. All right, I'm just get the fuck up out of here. Like, you don't want to know why. Like, you don't want to ask, like, you know, is everything okay? It could have been a health issue that she didn't feel comfortable with, you know, disclosing with you. Or, you know, it could be something as that, but then some people just, you know, first out, you fuck with somebody else. But it's like, sometimes it's not that. Like, really deal with like depression, and that does affect their sex drive and stuff like that. So you gotta equate for that. So if that person is not in the best headspace, how do you expect
need to be dating?
Exactly, but they are. That's the crazy thing. Who's stopping
toxic ass?
Who's stopping these niggas from these people from dating, knowing that they're not in the best headspace? Nobody, and that's why everybody has these toxic, like you said, toxic relationships, because ain't nobody stopping and being like, you know what, I'm the problem. Like realization and self-awareness. I fucked up. That was me. Everybody ain't always fucking you over. Like at some point, you got to take your part in your life and what's going, the outcomes that you get, and be like, maybe it's something that I'm doing. And then that's when you start to check yourself. And then when you do that, hopefully you will become a better person, because that's the whole point in self-awareness, is to be able to become a better person. You don't want to keep doing the same shit that you was doing 2 years ago. Like cut your timeline short. You ain't gotta say I ain't the same person I was when I was 15. You ain't supposed to be, nigga. You 35. Like it's a big ass window you left her. Like what happened between that time? Like I hope some growth happened. Like some things had changed for you, but I just think that all it comes down to a personal preference, because some people will fuck you night one, hour one, straight sex, and then some people can, make something happen off of that. But that the percentage of that, really, coming after something solid is very low.
You know what? I'm in that low percentage.
Yeah.
Most of my longest relationships have lasted where we had sex earlier in the relationship than later. The times that I have waited a little longer, it either didn't materialize into anything, or it did and it just didn't last long. The times that I have had sex within the first couple weeks, month, maybe month and a half, those relationships had lasted years. Yeah. Even my marriage.
You going in over 5 years. Not, having voices in your head telling you about society rules and how you gonna look and shit like that. Fuck all of that. This is a personal thing. This is what you want. Like it's not about what everyone else's rules. You set the rules for yourself. Like that's it. If you want to date multiple guys and have sex with just one of the multiple guys you're dating, do that. Like it's your rules, whatever works for you. But also let people in on your rules. Like there's certain shit that people should know about without, you don't want to keep people completely in the dark when it comes to certain shit like that.
Yep.
Like you just want to be included. Not saying that you giving details of like, yeah, I date this person and we be fucking like this. Like I ain't saying do all that, but you can let it be known that, if there's something, because dude, motherfuckers will try you. Like, I heard you still dating, no dude. Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, man, what are you talking about? This is not that kind of, situation where, like, if I was single and unattached, then trust me, dear, you would know. Like, I would reach out to you. You don't have to. You got to check around something. Hey, everything's still. Oh, okay, cool. Just want. Like, nah, you ain't got to touch base with me, bro. Like,
you know what? Before we close this out, I'm gonna put myself on the spot. That shit is toxic. And I be doing that sometimes, but I'll be reframing. I'll be like, I just be like, damn, I wonder what such and such is doing. I should hit her ass up. Then I think about it, like, man, I ain't talked to her about 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year, 2 years. Like,
hey, stranger.
Oh man, but I know niggas that be doing that shit. I'm like, damn, you ain't talked to her about a year or so. Like, yeah, man, I know, but and they don't want nothing from her, but whatever, and the fuck. But and a lot of these women might think like we might be rekindling shit, or they genuinely checking up to see what's up. But so in that sense, I even hate hitting. Sometimes I hate hitting up women that I ain't talked to in months and years, because sometimes that's what it comes off as, in, oh, this nigga wants some ass. Right. He tried to get some cheeks.
He wants something, and he ain't coming over here just to be coming over here. You want something? What you want? Especially for like, and just my personal thing, like I look at guys like that because guys try to use me to get on podcasts and shit. Like they use that shit. They'll bring up my show and be like, oh yeah, you still doing that?
Golly, boy, them niggas. Ooh.
I want to get on the episode with you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk about shit. And then, because I know that, because I asked, what you want to talk about? What you got to talk about? Oh, well, No, nigga.
So that's an indicator. Because I genuinely hit people up and I'll talk about shit, but I don't. They probably be thinking that shit too. Like his ass don't want nothing but some pussy.
He don't want no. He just wants some pussy. He just wants some exposure. From that's my point of view. Like he just wants some kind of exposure. So he knows that I have some kind of intel where I'm at right now. So of course he gonna try to. Yeah, he think he'll probably use me in like conversation. Yeah, I know this girl got podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's my home girl. Ain't talked to me in 3 years. And randomly gonna hit me up talking about. So you still do? Nah, nigga, not this ain't that. I don't do that shit. Like you just ain't nobody just walking up on my shit just to be walking up on it. I only had one episode like that in my whole 6 years, and I never do that shit again. Cause the nigga came on my show dumb high and he wasn't talking about shit. And I was so happy that the show did not record. That was one of them days I was like, yes. Cause I did not want to put that bullshit out. It was that fucking bad. I'm so happy there's no recollection of it. And he's like, yeah, I was just so high. Don't come on my shit dumb loaded, bringing other niggas with you and shit. And I'm asking you deep in like questions and shit. You like, yeah. Yeah, what you nigga, I asked you a question, like it wasn't a yes or no question. It was like, nigga, I want your point of view. Like, give me something. So yeah, motherfuckers that randomly want to reach out and hit you, it's like opportunity shit. It's like, what you want? Come on, tell me what you want so I can go ahead and tell you no. And you can go ahead and get on with your life.
I got you. But y'all, let's close this motherfucker out. We gave him a nice long episode today. It's like, ooh. We over an hour and a half. But I mean, good conversation generates. But I actually wanted to do this because the episode I put out today was an older episode, but I just didn't feel like I was doing, my listeners and viewers or whoever else justice by putting out something that was, which I probably will do because I like to have an episode in the cut now, but I did want to do something more fresh and up to date because a lot of this shit that we talked about, R.Kelly, Dave Chappelle, the NFAC was actually this week, and I hate to do outdated episodes, so I wanted to go ahead and get it off. But I appreciate y'all for coming on and quoting with me. Let's go ahead and close this out. Ladies first.
Queen Latifah. There you go.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
That's my song. I love Queen Latifah. Follow me everywhere at Angelina Jolie on Twitter and Instagram. Hopefully a new Banshees Black will be coming up this month. I'm gonna try to get one in the can for sure. And thank you for having me on Unapologetic again.
Mm-hmm. No problem. We got another one coming up this week.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for that episode.
Interesting.
Smurf.
Ah man, 1/2 coffee apple juice, 1/2 Aries talking sports. Y'all know me. Follow me or not. I don't care. Real quick, before I give out my Instagram, these goddamn Forex bots. Can y'all stop? Can y'all little bit mining niggas? Can y'all stop adding me? This is the exact reason why my shit is private. Fuck.
Come on, man, get the Bitcoin.
This shit is frustrating. I get like 5 of these motherfuckers.
Would you like to invest?
Get the hell out in seconds. I know they'd be like, damn, man, I just got in here. Get your ass on.
But
would you like to make some extra cash?
Yes, nigga, but not with you. But hit me up, IG Ghost_St. Patrick 82, ST Patrick 82. That's the only place you need to hit me up at. Don't ask me for nothing else.
Damn, so aggressive, brother.
Right.
Don't ask me nothing else, nigga. All right.
Yeah, but so thanks for everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I did want to either open or close out. Guys, we got to get together. There are a lot of every time for the last 2-3 weeks, every time I turned on the news, it was man shot ex-wife, man shot girlfriend, man shot pregnant lover because whatever else. And I think it's a lot of domestic violence going on that is unnecessary. And I don't know, maybe it's because it's me. I've never understand the point of trying to kill somebody, shooting somebody because you can't be with them or whatever else. To me, that is probably the most sucker shit I've ever seen or heard of ever. It was recently in the news. I want to say it was last week. It just passed. Soldier on Fort Bragg shot and killed girlfriend right outside of Columbus, Georgia. She was pregnant. I guess she didn't want to be with him no more, but he was married. Then there was another story, a guy, his wife was leaving him. He didn't know where she was because she was scared of him. She went back to the house one day to get some clothes, and I guess he was outside waiting, like, because he didn't know where she was. He was just going to the house and just sitting in the car somewhere waiting to see if she showed back up. She showed up. He shot her and the daughter. They both survived. I mean, there's plenty of cases like that. In New York, pregnant lady, she was 2 weeks away from her delivery date. She was coming from a baby shower with her new boyfriend that had her pregnant. So of course, this guy that her ex, they haven't been together for at least 8-9 months or longer. Wow. This guy waiting outside the apartment, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., shot her in the head. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. And I think guys, we got to get better. And I think we're supposed to be protecting these women instead of trying to hurt them. These women can move on just like we move on. I've never understand the fact of, I've listened to plenty of podcasts. Guy was like, she move on. If me and her are not done, the next guy that she's with, we got problems until we're done. No, if she moved on, you're done.
Right.
Like it's it. Like, I mean, we can't put claim and ownership on women or pussy. Like, it's not, if she's not giving to you no more, she's with somebody else, is theirs. It belongs to them. Or it belongs to her, actually, until she tells the guy. Whatever.
It's called consent.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I said, it all goes back to my point. Y'all need to be teaching kids manners. Right. So learn how to take no. Learn how to move on when someone doesn't want you anymore. Mm-hmm. Learn that you're not entitled to people just because y'all had a sexual experience with each other. And that's without children. Just because y'all had sex, that woman don't belong to you. That body don't belong to you either. That's all whatever she chooses to do with it is what she chooses to do with it. You respect that, because if the shoe was on the other foot and women could be overly aggressive and take dick from niggas, y'all niggas would crowd. I'm talking about in the fetal position. No, leave me alone. I don't like the way this feels.
Some of them do take dick too. Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the aggressive way that it happens to women. Like, it's not an excitement that
no. But some women out here taking pussy aggressively too.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
But that's topic for another conversation. But go ahead, Smart.
Hold on, Reggie. Of course, that leads me into Dre. I got you, Dre. Mental health is real. So if you're having any issues, we're no subject matter experts, but reach out to us if you're having any problems or whatever. If it's not us, reach out to somebody that you trust, because you never know what a conversation could do for you when you're having when you're in a crisis. So, so take care of yourself mentally.
Yep. And just to rehash with us something that Thugger said, rejection is cool. For me, there are times that I don't say nothing to women I'm attracted to just because I don't like rejection.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? It's cool not to say nothing, or it's cool to say something and be rejected. Regroup.
Never shot my shit for the nigga. Like, I'm not doing this shit.
As we say in the army, yeah.
But
hey, Reggie, we the same, because I see somebody I'm attracted to, don't want to get rejected. If we catch eye contact, give it a nod. Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Keep moving.
But yeah, shout out to Dre, my co-host. We get back on. I appreciate for having y'all on again. And thank you to the viewers, listeners, for rocking with me for almost 2 hours. We definitely we went deep on this one, but I mean, it's a good conversation. I enjoyed it. But as always, we're unapologetic, we're unfiltered. See y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in. We out.
Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Yep, all that good stuff.
I got you, dog.
I appreciate it.
I tried, look.
You know what it is. Thanks for listening to another episode of Unapologetic, the podcast. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Better follow me.